Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, thank you for joining us today. If you're someone who geeks out over real science-backed ways to support your energy, recovery, heart health, brain sharpness, and maybe even turn back the clock on aging, you're absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going all in on resveratrol, the fascinating natural compound found in red grape skins, berries, peanuts, and yes, in a small amount in red wine. We've seen it pop up in longevity research, fitness cycles, and celebrity protocols for years. But today, we're cutting through the hype with a comprehensive, evidence-based deep dive. We will cover exactly what it is, how it works in a cellular level, the proven benefits with real numbers from clinical trials, honest side effects, benefits, and fitness and resistance training, Dr. David Sinclair's protocol, who it's best for, critical medication interactions, and precise dosage and usage tips. This one is packed with science, so grab a notebook if you want, and stick around to the very end for my practical takeaways and final recommendation. If this helps you make smarter health decisions, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss these in-depth episodes. Let's jump right in. First, let's set the foundation. What exactly is resveratrol? It's a type of natural polyphenol, a plant product compound that acts like a defense mechanism for the plant against UV radiation, stress, infection. You'll find it concentrated in the skin of red grapes, blueberries, cranberries, mulberries, peanuts, and even Japanese nutweed. The interest exploded back in the early 2000s when researchers linked it to the so-called French paradox, how some populations eating rich diets but drinking moderate red wine seemed to protect them from heart disease. But the real game changer came in 2003 when scientists discovered resveratrol as a potent activator of sirtuin proteins. More on that in a moment. Importantly, we're talking about trans resveratrol. It's a form of supplement, the bioactive one, not the cis form, CIS. And while you can get tiny amount from food or wine, you'd need to drink hundreds of bottles of red wine daily to match the doses used in studies, which is obviously not practical and not healthy. That's why purified supplement exists. Now, let's get into the mechanism of action. And I'll explain every technical term, so it makes total sense even if you're not a biologist. At its core, resveratrol works like a master switch for cellular health. It primarily activates a family of proteins called sirtuins, especially SIRT1. Sirtuins are NAD+ dependent enzymes that act as cellular guardians. They remove acetyl groups from proteins, a process called deacetylation, which helps repair DNA, regulate inflammation, control metabolism, and promote longevity pathway. Think of sirtuins as the longevity genes, that get turned on during calorie restriction or exercise. Resveratrol mimics that effect without you having to starve yourself. It also fires up AMPK, adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase, your cell's energy sensor. When AMPK is activated, it boosts mitochondrial function. Those are tiny power plants in every cell that produce ATP, energy for cell, increases fat burning, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduces oxidative stress from free radicals. Resveratrol further calms down inflammatory pathway like NFKB and NLRP3 inflammasome, while ramping up antioxidant enzymes like SOD, CAT, and GPX. Recent 2025 research highlights how it orchestrates these through the AMPK SIRT1 PGC1 alpha axis, leading to better mitochondrial biogenesis, less cellular damage, and even autophagy, your body's natural cellular cleanup crew. In simple terms, it helps your cells stay resilient, efficient, and youthful under modern stresses like poor diet, aging, or intense training. Okay, so all that cellular wizardry sounds impressive, but what does it actually mean for real people? Let's break down the benefits with hard numbers from randomized controlled trials and meta-analysis. No cherry picking, just the data. Starting with cardiovascular and metabolic health. This is where the evidence is strong. Multiple human trials show resveratrol improves endothelial function, the health of your blood vessel lining, lowers blood pressure, and supports better cholesterol profile. In one meta-analysis of people with cardiovascular risks, doses of 150 to 500 milligram daily reduced systolic blood pressure and improved flow-mediated dilation. It's a key parameter of artery flexibility. And for metabolic health, in obese men, just 150 per day for 30 days, mimicked caloric restrictions, enhancing mitochondrial function, lower liver fat, and improved insulin sensitivity. In type 2 diabetes patient, trials with 250 to 1000 milligram daily for 4 to 12 weeks showed significant drops in fasting glucose, HbA1c, and inflammatory markers like CRP and TNF alpha. A 2026 meta-analysis on cardiovascular outcomes confirmed benefits in lipid profiles and vascular health, especially in those with mild metabolic issues. These are miracle cues, but consistent improvements that add up for heart and metabolic resilience. Moving to brain and cognitive support, super relevant as we want to stay sharp with age. Resveratrol crosses blood barrier where it reduces neuroinflammation, protects neurons, and may influence amyloid and tau protein linked to Alzheimer's. In a year-long trial with mild to moderate Alzheimer's patients, up to 2 grams daily showed decline in daily activities and showed positive biomarker shifts in cerebrospinal fluid. Another 2025 review of clinical studies in neurodegenerative conditions highlighted improvements in glymphatic function, your brain's waste clearance system, better cerebral blood flow, and cognitive scores in vascular cognitive impairment trials. Postmenopausal women in a 24-month crossover study taking 150 milligram in two doses of 75 milligram, saw better processing speed, cognitive flexibility, and cerebrovascular responsiveness, with effects sustained across seasons. Not every trail shows dramatic reversal, but the pattern suggests supportive benefits for brain health in at-risk groups, especially when combined with lifestyle factors. Of course, benefits aren't just for the heart and brain. In the fitness and bodybuilding world, resveratrol has gained a serious following for recovery and performance under training stress. Bodybuilders and high-intensity athletes deal with a constant oxidative damage, inflammation, and muscle breakdown. And resveratrol seems to help buffer that. A study on plyometric exercise-induced muscle damage showed that preloading resveratrol, especially higher doses, significantly reduced muscle soreness, lowered damage markers like creatine kinase and LDH, sped up recovery of peak and mean power in anaerobic tests, and improved fatigue index. Athletes recovered faster with less inflammation, lower IL-6 and TNF alpha. Another trail in trained soldiers and cyclists confirmed anti-inflammatory effects and better endurance markers. Reviews from fitness users often echo this: less post-workout soreness, sustained energy, and quicker bounce back after heavy lifting sessions. It's not a steroid or direct muscle builder, but it supports mitochondrial efficiency, reduces exercise-induced stress, making it a smarter adjunct for hard-training bodybuilders aiming for longevity in their sport. Speaking of real-world use, let's talk expert experience. One of the most vocal, credible advocates in world-renowned Harvard longevity researcher, Dr. David Sinclair. Since around 2003, Sinclair has taken 1 gram 1000 milligram of trans resveratrol every other morning, mixed into full-fat yogurt and olive oil for optimal absorption because it's fat-soluble. He credits it as a part of his broader protocol with helping activate sirtuins and supporting his own cellular health, energy, and research into aging reversal. In his book, Lifespan, in the recent 2026 interviews, he describes it as a cornerstone for mimicking calorie restriction benefits without a diet. Sinclair's approach is data-driven, and thousands of people follow his protocol based on his transparency. So, who is the ideal target user for resveratrol? The science points strongest to adults over 40 looking to support healthy aging, those with mild metabolic concerns like prediabetes, elevated blood pressure, or insulin resistance, and active individuals or athletes pushing hard in the gym and want better recovery and reduced training inflammation. It's not essential for perfectly healthy 20 something, but the cumulative cellular protection shines in midlife and beyond, especially when paired with exercise, good sleep, and a balanced diet. If you have no issues, it may offer subtle longevity support, but always prioritize fundamental first. And as with any supplement, the golden rule is to consult your doctor before starting. Now, a responsible deep dive wouldn't be complete without side effects and interactions. The good news: resveratrol is generally very well tolerated. Clinical trials up to 5 grams daily for short periods showed no serious adverse events in people. At doses over 1 gram, some experience mild gastrointestinal issues like nausea, diarrhea, stomach upset, usually transient. Very high doses, 2.5 gram to 5 grams daily, occasionally cause chills, rash, or slight liver enzyme elevations that normalize after stopping. Long-term trials in Alzheimer's patients at 1 to 2 gram daily for a year reported excellent safety, no major toxicity flags in this area. On interactions with medication, which is, I think, crucial. Resveratrol can mildly inhibit certain liver enzymes, CYP450 pathways, that metabolizes many drugs, potentially increasing or decreasing their effects. It has blood thinning properties, so it may amplify anticoagulants like aspirin, which increase their risk of bleeding. It can interact with blood pressure meds, diabetes drug, chemotherapy agents, NSAIDs, and some antidepressant or antifungals. High doses might affect hormone-sensitive conditions. So the bottom line: if you're on any prescription medication, get cleared by your healthcare provider first. Better safe than sorry. And finally, let's get practical with dosage and how to use it. Most effective human trials use 150 to 2 grams daily of trans resveratrol, the active form. Check the label, it's really important. Common supplement doses are 250 to 500 once or twice daily, but longevity protocols like Sinclair's go up to 1,000 milligrams every other day or every day. For metabolic or recovery benefits, 150 to 500 milligrams often suffices. Start low with 250 if you're new and built up over time. Take it with fat sauce, olive oil, or meal with healthy fats. It dramatically increases absorption. Morning dose is popular, but consistency matters more. Many see benefit in 4 to 12 weeks of daily use, and you must look for third-party tasted brand with high purity. And consider cycling, for example, 3 months on, 1 month off, or every other day like Dr. David Sinclair if desired, though long-term daily use appears safe in studies. Pair it with exercise for synergetic effect on mitochondrial recovery. So that was a thorough deep dive into resveratrol. From its cellular mechanisms, activating sirtuins and AMPK, to measurable benefits in heart, brain function, exercise recovery, and healthy aging, the science is genuinely promising, especially when used intelligently as a part of a bigger lifestyle picture. It's not a magic pill that replaced diet, sleep, or training, but the numerical evidence from trials shows it can be a valuable tool for the right person. If you found this helpful, please smash that like button, subscribe for more no hype science on supplement and longevity, and share with a friend who might benefit. As always, consult your doctor before adding any supplement, especially with medications. Stay curious, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next evidence packed episode. Take care.